Hello and welcome to the show. My name's Relevant. This is Do All of the Things. On today's episode, a follow-up of my little power box here. I'm going to improve on it. I'm going to add a little voltage regulator circuit so I can run it off local power, as in not off the battery. Certain functionality of it's been bugging me and I'm going to solve that problem. Stay tuned. So in a previous episode, I built this little box right here. It is a little power meter box. I just turned this pupper on and then it allows me to measure voltages. But not just any voltages, specifically using DC barrel jacks. Like I have some binding posts here that I can plug meter probes into it, but the idea is, what's this wall wart outputting? Bam, it's outputting 12.5 volts. And then, bam, I can plug that into an experiment I'm working on or a load, like say I want to know how much power my router's consuming or something, and then I can get that data right here. That little light bulb, 246 milliamps. It's not perfectly accurate, this meter, but it does work. Now, I've been using it as a bit of a jumping off point. You see, this power supply here is coming from the back of the workbench, which is coming from a distro coming from my solar system. So this 12.5 volts, that's battery power coming off the solar supply. So I can run my little experiments off solar power here. And so I just have this thing waggling here and it's kind of great. I plug that into here and then whatever my experiment is, or I have these jumper cables, I can run my experiments off solar power, get meters. And then this also kind of secures this cable. Instead of having a hot cable kicking around the workbench, potentially short circuiting, I could just leave it plugged into here, keeps it safe, turn this box off, turn this box on. It's great. There's only one problem with this box, and that is it runs down batteries really fast. So according to my measurements, this thing consumes maybe 23 milliamps of current, and the rechargeable batteries I'm using are 175, advertised. 7 hours of use, realistically it's less than that because this is probably going to turn off a little early. But either way, I'll be here working on an experiment with this thing running for hours. And then all of a sudden, my battery's dead again. And I got to unbolt it and all that. Now, the battery is for convenience, so that I don't need a power supply to run this thing. It was also for consistency. Being a meter, this has the ability to measure a variety of voltages. I think this meter itself is rated for up to 100 volts, even though I wouldn't be using it for that. I wanted a consistent power input because one flaw that these cheap meters sometimes have is even though they're advertised for like up to 30 volts, they're gonna overheat and crap out on you if you actually run them at that voltage. They have regulation built into them. There is a tiny little linear voltage regulator right in there. It's about a 3.3 volts that takes whatever voltage you feed it, steps it down to actually run the circuitry. Now, I used to have this meter installed on a project that regularly ran off 18 volts. And it would just crap out and turn off. And I found that little regulator was overheating and I guess going into a protection mode, thermal protection mode. By running it at a lower voltage, we avoid that. But I decided, what's the easiest solution? Well, I'm just gonna chuck a little voltage regulator in there. Like we got going on here, I was just prototyping a little bit. It's nothing, We have a 5 volt linear voltage regulator, a couple 1U capacitors, and bam. All we have to do is build that in something we can throw inside the box itself. Enter this little PCB specification chart. Not a specification chart. PCB layout. And yes, I know it's not a P. There's our regulator. In this case, we're using an LP2950-50. So it's a 5 volt regulator. The good old LP2950 is one of my favorites now. They make the 78 series obsolete. We got the input, we got the output. Those are little 1U ceramic capacitors. Used half for size convenience and half because I recently restocked on these, so I got more. And then an on, off, on, clicky, clicky, DP-DT switch. So what happens here is we got the battery normally coming in from here, and if we flick the switch in one direction, boom, output, we got battery power. But we have external power coming into here. So if we're switched to battery power off, external power is not running the regulator. But if we switch down to external power, goes through here, input, filter capacitance, there's our common positive, there's our ground terminal, filter capacitance on the output, boom, out to that terminal, out to the center and out. Couldn't be any simpler. All we gotta do is build it. And I'm using, part of the design prerequisites is kind of amusing. I found this scrap piece of board. This little sliver, I guess I needed to shave off a little off a previous project. This probably would have been garbage, but I held on to it and hey, it's got a purpose now. Now what would have been nice is if I put the correct tip on the soldering iron. Now I have to wait for it to all reheat all over again. I did experiment with Zener regulation and that actually would have been very feasible, kind of. But problem with Zener regulators is they need a consistent voltage input and a consistent load to work properly. Changing the voltage changed the voltage, the output voltage, and then, well, that was a problem. All right, so let's see if we can't dismantle on this thing because we got to get the old switch out. Should be simple enough. Oh, apparently not. Apparently I put that on there nice and tight. Wow, bud, that's amazing that isn't just pulling off. There's no hole. It's just wrapped around the lug. I can't believe this. Oh, there it goes after all that fuss. Wow, that was easy. This could be a long video, bro. It's gonna be a long video, my dudes. Now this is to prep on these guys here, because these guys have to be ready to install onto the new board some way, somehow. Okay, so this thing, I guess we get it in the vise. I'm doing my classic reversal way of doing things instead of, you know, putting everything on the same side and then connecting it here. That's okay. In this application, it's applicable. We got one pin here. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Never mind. Got one pin that doesn't get used, so that switch is faceted to place. And then we just kind of place these down. So an external right there, skip one, this goes ear, and then ear and ear. Lightly tack these down. They stay into place. Okay. Now we engage in the weaving. We must weave this tapestry. Now see, the only thing about the way this switch is mounted is you have to connect to the terminals, overland connections. I think we're like a third done already, or maybe a quarter. Now there's a pad here that I want to eliminate so that we don't have a short point. Because we got these two rinds here coming close to each other. They kind of have to like do a little crisscrossy here. And if that common space there, they could short out against it. So we just grind that out so it doesn't exist. Might as well grind this other one out between it too. Or no, we can leave that one. Almost, it's like we're blinking and it's almost done. We just have to get this common ground bus set up here. Literally just pull this regulator down, cross these guys, and then bam. We just need a piece of wire. Oh, what's this weird piece of wire conveniently located nearby? I just have a bunch of scrap wire kicking on the desk here from like various guitar projects I've been working on. Oh, this is a nice one. This is like OEM wire. Okay, that's Amore right there. So, pretty sure this is done now. We just need to get like wires connected to it. So we'll bring the battery in the bottom. And then it just has to kind of wrap around the switch terminal, if it will, being a little silly. Then this is the output. We're getting a little tight here. That's not going to reach as is. I might reinforce it. I'm going to do a little weaving. So I'm bringing out in up here, and then it's going to transition over to a lead. Which will come down. Oh, it's going to be a little tricky. That's tight fit right there. And just pull up on the... Come on now. I said pull, and that should be good like that. Now I just need an external power lead. Oh, look, another random piece of wire. That's gonna come in. Oh, this thing's at an angle. It's not sitting straight. Oh, it's okay though. Okay, this is gonna be even more trickier because the blob next to it's a bit wide. I think I got it though. Well, I don't really think, I know. All right, VRM built. It's just a case of parking her down here now. Conveniently, this uses the same kind of hardware as our last switch, so we're gonna have to go digging out the hardware. Look at that! That just came together perfectly. We're not quite done yet. So we have these two leads, common negative, which needs to come and attach to this bus here. And that's the input bus so that it doesn't measure the current output of this lead. Doesn't need to be particularly long. We're gonna have just this very short stubby bit here. That's kind of useless. I shouldn't have bothered. Get that wrapped around there like that. Slaughter. Now a common positive, which is simple because normally we would just go onto this post. I might try to affix it to here if I can get some hole space room in here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit there. And it's through the hole and we tack it down. And that wire's having trouble taking solder. Might be an old piece of worn out wire, but I think it's done now. That means if I plug a power source here and switch to external power, oh, there we go. Internal power, no, but external power, yes. However, we still do have battery ability. So internal power, no, external power, internal power. Perfect. Other than some supplementary ideas, I had to put a circuit breaker on this, which I don't think I'm gonna bother doing. I think this is complete now. So this is just a quick little follow-up. Let's just make this a little bit better. If you saw the last video and you liked it and you're like, well, that's handy, I want one of those. I don't know whether or not anyone will actually build any of the projects that I've made here. Doesn't matter. I do this for me and to entertain you, but not necessarily to instruct. So at the risk of babbling, we will finish for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, stay tuned. Sometimes I like to build little circuits. It's a dramatic pause, but I need to grab a screwdriver. Wait, give me my electric screwdriver. We're not a kid anymore. Oh yeah, bud.